Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Law 38, Chapter 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, the meeting of the Shawsheen Tech School Committee is being conducted via Zoom. No in-person attendance of members will be permitted. Every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. A reminder that persons who would like to listen or view this meeting while in progress may do so by, I believe, accessing the link that was included on the meeting agenda. If despite our best efforts, we are not able to provide for real-time access, we will post a record of this meeting on Bill Ricker's website as soon as we are able. All right, in attendance this evening is Mr. Fusco, Mr. McIntyre, Mrs. Bedian, Attorney Peterson, Mr. Gillis, Ms. Gillis, Ms. Gallagher, and did I miss anybody? And myself, I'm Attorney Muse, and I am the chair of this meeting. All right, we are going to go out of order here and hear from, wait a second, I had to fix my computer there, and hear from Ms. Danica Johnson, our new Director of Academic Programs.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'll be brief. I understand that today is the day before Thanksgiving break, so I don't want to keep you long, but thank you for inviting me to the meeting. Prior to coming to Shawsheen, I taught mathematics at Littleton High School for 7 years, and then I was the department chair of mathematics there. And then I spent a little bit over 3 years at Hudson Public Schools as their assistant principal. And I saw this opportunity at Shawsheen, and it has an incredible reputation. And I decided to change and come over to Shawsheen. It's been amazing so far. The way that I've been able to integrate myself is I've really just spent the past 8 weeks listening and doing as much as I can to support the academic teachers and to support the overall goal of the administrative team. One of the first things I did when I got to Shawsheen was meet with the department chairs, get to know them, and tell them that I'm here as your resource and your conduit to try to navigate the current year and make plans for the future. Shawsheen's an incredible place. You guys probably already know that, but I have been astounded by how incredible this staff is. The vocational staff, the academic staff, everybody is here for the students, and that is all you can ask for. There's nothing better than a community who believes in their kids, and that's exactly who Shawsheen is. Upon my induction, I worked really closely with the support services department and Jeff Albert. We've really created a good working partnership where we are doing what's best for all students. That's ELL students, that's special education students, that's all of our learners in this very unique and remote environment. I think that the administrative team also sees the school as a whole picture, which is another great asset. 2 weeks ago, I was able to collectively address the entire academic staff. And this was my first real opportunity to speak to them about my beliefs and philosophies on education. Teaching remotely during COVID right now is certainly less than ideal. It's challenging in so many ways, and it's not something that these teachers were trained to do or signed up to do, but they're really up for the challenge. And I commend them because I've challenged some of their thinking and some of their past practices. We've really started to open up conversations about how can we be creative this year and try new things, because the assessments that teachers created aren't necessarily ready to go online. It's so different, but teachers are working really hard to build relationships because they understand that this isn't ideal for anyone. The things in these 8 weeks that I've also done, we got a Title I waiver so that all of our Title I funds this year can be used for the entire school, not just those students who were identified as Title I students. So we've been able to purchase some laptops, some software, some programming. We've started a Title I after school tutoring. So all students are going to have the opportunity to receive support in all subjects after school in person if they feel comfortable. I also worked concurrently with Principal Cook to create that asynchronous Wednesday for the academic teachers. And the idea of this Wednesday is to provide some planning time, some office hours, and a little bit of relief from the screens that we know is the reality of these students right now. We've also initiated an after-school Spanish program for Spanish 1 and 2, and I planned a few professional developments and have worked on a few other protocols for the school. But overall, I'm so excited and happy about what I see, and I know that there are such great things coming in the future. And every day we learn something new about what works and what doesn't work during COVID. And these teachers are incredible. They're really adjusting and doing their best in the best interest of kids. So I'm happy to be here. And if you guys have any questions or anything, I don't know my time frame, but I'm glad to be at Shawsheen.
Well, we're happy that you're here.
Very nice to meet
Been
you.
really busy. Does anybody have any questions?
Danica, I was thinking this whole Mcas thing. What's your thoughts on the way that what the state's thinking about doing? Because I think it's going to be not the right way.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, they still are planning to go ahead with Mcas.
Yeah.
We decided not to test in the January administration because it's the legacy exam, and students in this in high school now really haven't been prepared for the legacy exam. So we're making plans to test the sophomore and junior class in May, given that COVID doesn't disrupt that process. The other benefit of these Title I funds is that we're going to be able to provide tutoring for both math and ELA prior to this Mcas for any student who wants it to get them ready.
Excuse me, the legacy exam. I'm sorry. What is that?
So this is considered the next generation Mcas.
Okay.
And so that's what has been tested for the past few years. So that's what teachers have adjusted their curriculum for. Okay. So it's essentially a different writing prompt and a different writing style in English than previous years.
So let's hope that the spring testing, the kids should be ready. That's, yeah, I know. Maybe life can return to normal next school year. Thank you for your job. Thank you for all your work.
Thank you.
Good luck.
All right. Anyone else? Well, thank you very, very much for coming this evening.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Danica.
Thank you, Danica, and
Enjoy the rest of your evening with your family.
Enjoy.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Thank
Thanksgiving.
you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. All right, we've got approval of bills and payroll. We got a legal bill for Howard Greenspan. Can I have a motion?
So move, Madam Chairman.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous vote. All right. Approval of minutes of October 20th.
So move, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous vote.
Abstain.
Okay. Lisa.
Lisa.
Correspondence. I think the only thing we have is something from the superintendent.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I had sent something along today, a copy of an email that I received from the Department of Education that is a little difficult to read and seems to be written in double negatives, but it is a finding that Shawsheen, along with many other school districts in Massachusetts, has not been cited, which is the way they are wording this, for any concerns about disproportionality, which means that they've reviewed all of our discipline records, all of our special education records against the race and ethnicity of the student, and our special ed records against the race and ethnicity of our students, and find that all of that work that we're doing is in proportion to the race and ethnicity of our student body. So this has been a problem in Massachusetts in some school districts where Black students, for example, are disproportionately receive discipline more severely than their white counterparts, or men versus women, although this doesn't do gender, this is just doing race and ethnicity. So as a result, the United States Department of Education ordered DESE to review the records of every school district in Massachusetts. There's also been a lot of concern among a narrow group of 6 vocational schools in Massachusetts that have been cited for having some disproportionality, and we were not one of them. And so I just wanted to include this in your packet as information to say that Shawsheen has been found to be clear, and to our work, all of our work is being done in accordance with the education, the Equal Opportunity Act.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have any questions for the
Yeah,
superintendent?
I'm not clear on the word disproportionality. That means that any kind of punishment or reprimand is equitable across the board? Is that it?
No, it's the issue is that we're not, to me, it's a double negative. We're not found in disproportionality. So if we were disproportionately doing discipline, that would mean that we were disciplining our students of color more severely than we were their white counterparts. And so this is saying that we are not doing that.
Okay, so the word disproportionate goes with discipline,
It goes both, well, it's not in proportion to.
but the word is the word disproportionality by itself doesn't mean a lot to me. It's connected to the word discipline.
Discipline and special ed identification and placement, yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent. Next, there's a way for residents to call in. And I think you were going to put that on.
Scott, if you could put that information up on the screen for people. There is a phone number if there is a member of the community who wishes to speak and make a comment to the school committee. If you call this number on your screen and enter the meeting ID and the passcode that is on this screen, it was also included in the agenda, the school committee agenda that was posted on the Shawsheen website. If someone chooses to take advantage of that, I will be notified as one of the co-hosts of this meeting, and could then allow them to enter the meeting and make their comment. So if we could just pause for a moment to see if anyone wishes to make their participation known. This is being done live on Tuesday, November 24th at 7:46 p.m. So if you're watching this on when the meeting is not taking place live, you do not have the opportunity to participate.
Yes.
So, Madam Chair, I think I vamped long enough, perhaps, that we find that there is no one,
No phone
there's
calls.
no interest in there for public participation. So Scott, if you could
Take
take that
that.
down. And I'll return the meeting to you.
All righty, so now it's superintendent's report.
So briefly, I just wanted to provide the committee with a brief oral COVID update. Obviously, we are just returning from our 2-week forced all remote. I have to tell you, the staff pivoted brilliantly to the 100% remote model. If you were able to see some of the videos that were shared online that our vocational teachers put together for instructional purposes, I will be happy to share those out with you as well, but they were simply amazing. And I think the transition went very, very well. Hopefully, it's the last time we have to make that transition. I can tell you that some of our sending school districts have made that transition in and out of remote several times already. We are hopeful that this was our only one, but I do want to just thank the staff for their flexibility and our students and their families for the flexibility during these past 2 weeks. Our students in grades 9 and 11 returned to in-district vocational learning on yesterday, on Monday, and our students who are receiving in-district academic instruction also returned on Monday. So we're back to normal and looking forward to the Thanksgiving holiday. The other thing I wanted to report to the committee, I was asked at the last meeting to do some research regarding videoing, having these meetings run concurrently on local cable access. I had an opportunity to speak to Ryan Mayar, who's the executive director at Wilmington's cable access channel. And he explained to me that there is a way to do that. You have to consider two things. One, how it would happen in this mode. In other words, how we're Zooming right now. We're using Zoom right now. And then two, how would it happen when we return to in-person meeting at Shawsheen? Essentially, local cable access stations do not provide staff to videotape or to record meetings. So it would be up to the district to provide those resources. There is, and right now, this meeting, through the functionality of Zoom, is also being live streamed out through YouTube, so that people can, from their homes, be watching this live right now in any of the 5 communities. If we wanted, however, Zoom has a limitation that you can only reach it out. You can only send something to one channel. So if we wanted to send something simultaneously to all 5 local cable access stations, we would there's a piece of software that is called Switchboard that is used in the industry that traditionally, so instead of sending it out live streaming it, you would send it to Switchboard, and then Switchboard would disseminate it to the 5 separate local cable access stations. Unfortunately, Switchboard is not a free piece of software. It costs about $100 a month for subscription. And then it would require us, it would basically do the same thing that we're doing through Zoom right now. If and when we return to in-person meetings, we would then be responsible for videotaping or video recording the meeting and using our computer in our conference room to send it out through that Switchboard software. I've talked to Ryan at length, and he basically he acknowledges that that local cable access has changed a significant amount, and they have very few live people who access these meetings live through local cable access. Most local cable access that is successful are actually doing what we are doing now, which is broadcasting it to a public a public site such as YouTube so that people can access it online. And then they take that YouTube video and they put the link on their website so that people can see it on demand. And that essentially, so his recommendation basically was you can go through this whole process of broadcasting live to the local cable stations. And that also assumes that they have a channel available when we want it. That it also has to be done in such a way and at a time when they have staff that they can turn the feed on and then turn it off when our meeting is over. But instead, he did recommend that actually the method we're currently using, which is using Zoom and then feeding this directly to YouTube, that is the preferred method in most communities now for locally broadcasting local meetings, particularly in this Zoom era. So I just wanted to share that all with you. It is possible to do it. He actually, and as I said, he does think that the way we're doing it now is actually capturing it more broadly than we would if we link directly to local cable access stations.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Moffett has joined us. He actually joined us a while ago. I didn't recognize him. Ken, hi, do you have anything to ask the superintendent? Because this was one of your concerns.
No, I mean, I think it's just answer for now. I just think maybe once we go back to in person, we might have to look at it. But I mean, for now, it's kind of like, you know, who knows when this is going to level out. So, you know, people are able to access it as we see. But I think once we go back to whatever that sense of normal is, we can look at it again at that point.
Okay. Ms. Gillis?
You were talking about the limitations because we do it on Zoom. Would it be any better to do it on Microsoft Teams?
Teams has the same functionality that Zoom does, as I understand it, to be able to broadcast through one channel. So we could, again, this is just capturing a video and audio image and sending it out through the YouTube channel. So
Yep.
whether we use Teams or Zoom really doesn't make doesn't have any impact because the people who are watching don't, it's not interactive. They can't ask questions or they're not participating in the meeting.
Okay.
So
And we'd have to
ultimately,
use Switchboard whether we were using Zoom or Teams.
Yeah, if you feel like it, why not? Up
to send it to more than one, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right. Subcommittee reports, Facilities Capital Planning Subcommittee. Ron, are you on that?
Yes, I am, Pat. Okay, let me get my notes here. Okay, here we go. The Facilities Subcommittee met on November 16th via Zoom, and we discussed renovations to the auditorium ceiling. At that point, the committee was furnished with 3 bids, and the committee voted unanimously to approve the bid of Marino Construction in the amount of $129,950. The auditorium, as you may or may not know, has been unusable for at least 2 years now. The ceiling has peeled in various spots, and Superintendent Jackson would desperately like to get back in there and use it as a learning space for our students. Right now, it has been closed and meetings have taken place in the auditorium for the faculty. The auditorium is not tremendously large, as you know, but we need to move on this. And so the subcommittee approved by unanimous vote the bid of $129,950. So Chairman Muse, I'd like to make a motion that the Shawsheen School Committee accept that bid of $29,950 to Reno Construction to do the auditorium ceiling repair.
Second,
All those in favor?
Yep,
aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm in favor, Madam Chairman. I just have a question for the superintendent. Where will we be getting the funds for the auditorium ceiling repair?
Ms. Hagman has indicated that there are funds available for this. I don't have the specific location of those. She's not concerned about that at this point in time.
Will it require a line item transfer?
I think it is, if the committee traditionally does transfers within capital accounts, it might require a transfer at one point in time. But it would be, it's within the capital accounts.
Would it be possible just to get an email or something from Ms. Hagman to the committee as to where the funds are coming from?
Sure.
We usually do approve transfers from one account to another.
If we need to do that, maybe can we do that by an email vote so it doesn't have to wait until the end of December or whenever our next meeting is to start?
What would the time frame for the work, commencement of the work be?
Ms. Hagman told me, Mr. Gillis, Mr. Peterson, excuse me, they wanted to get started as soon as possible. And we're behind already. She wanted to have the work done in December. That's not going to happen now. But they won't need a long time, I guess. Does that sound? I think that was the information that was conveyed to me.
Yeah,
I think it was only a week's worth of work, right?
It's really
No,
not a
4
long
weeks.
4 weeks of
Oh, okay.
work.
Remember,
I have
4
a
weeks of work.
question. Is this work cosmetic or is there anything structural involved?
It's replacing, it's scraping all of the ceiling
Plaster.
plaster.
So
It's
it's
removing
strictly
all of the-
cosmetic.
Yes, but
Yeah.
the ceiling plaster has separated from the ceiling, and there's concerns that other pieces will separate and fall as well.
Falling down.
Yeah,
But it's not structural.
no, originally I thought it was a roof concern. No, it's flaking off and it needs to be done. So Ms. Hagman said they will scrape the whole ceiling and replaster it. Can be done in about a month of work at least, minimum.
We can certainly approve the bid and then approve the funds at the next meeting, the transfer.
Sure.
Yeah, because they don't get paid until the work is done.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about, the project won't be done. I would hate to wait a month to start the project. I need every
My earlier
square
would work. You?
foot of that school that I can get to keep kids separated. As soon as I get that auditorium back, my hope is that I can shut down, that I can stop using the gym for lunches and move students into the auditorium so that we can get access to the gym for our in-person PE classes and perhaps maybe even some winter sports. I'm really struggling for space. So the sooner we could get this started, the happier I'd be.
And Madam Chairman, my concern isn't with the repair. I'm all in favor of the repair, but obviously when we adopted the FY21 budget, we didn't put 129,000 in there for the ceiling repair. And it's a legitimate question to ask where the money's coming from. So.
No, I agree, it is.
So would
Can I
you
just
like
ask
to
a question?
table this till next, to the next meeting so you can have that, I can have that answer for you? That certainly would be an option for you as well.
I mean, I have no objection to Mr. Gillis' suggestion that we approve the repair and subject to approval of the transfer of the funds. So
Can I just ask a question about just the repair itself? For something like this, how long will that last once we put the money into this?
Well, we know that the ceiling is 50 years old, so
Yeah.
the original ceiling lasted quite long. I think, I think in any type of repair such as that, you hope for 10 to 20 years.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we had looked at a new auditorium, and that's what we're going to need down the road, because what we have now is totally inefficient. So, I mean,
I know
it
what
is
you
what it is what it is.
I agree. It's a temporary fix.
It is.
Yes,
And,
we've got to,
and-
I know.
And if we weren't in shutdown and needing to keep kids 3 to 6 feet apart, I wouldn't be advocating for this as strongly as I am right now. I am anticipating, should things start to loosen up, and if it happens by chance to loosen up before the end of the school year, I'm gonna need more space to bring more students back than I currently have. So every square foot I can get, I need.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense to not use this space on a permanent basis if we can fix it for
For $130,000.
relatively speaking, short money. So,
I'll get you that information and we'll add that to the agenda item the next time for you to vote the budget transfer.
thank you.
Jim and Hughes, can we vote the?
I think I'd move the
Already voted,
question. We
right?
should move the bid.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous vote. Okay,
Thank you.
old business. I don't think there's any old business. Is there any old business, Superintendent?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, new business. We can forget the auditorium. We just did that. The donation.
Yes, as school committee policy requires the school committee to accept gifts, grants, and bequests to Shawsheen. I'm pleased to announce that Chevrolet General Motors has donated 6 Chevrolet vehicles to Chapter 74 automotive programs in the state of Massachusetts through Mass Bay Community College, and that Shawsheen Tech's Chapter 74 program will be receiving one of those trucks. It is a 2019 Chevy truck with a original sticker price of more than $45,000. It does have 6,000 miles on it. It comes without a title, so it can only be used as for educational purposes. We can't use it as a security vehicle or a plow, or we'll never be able to put it on the road or insure it. So it is for educational purposes only. But it is a very generous gift from General Motors, made by them and through our partnership with Mass Bay Community College.
I move we accept the truck donation.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Unanimous vote. I do have a question because you said it's for educational purposes only. So what do they do? Take it apart and put it back together?
Yes, this is an awesome opportunity it's a
Right.
diesel, and they get to work on diesels and all of these
Okay.
computer-intensive vehicles that have changed automotive technology.
Okay, sounds good.
Kevin Muse, the only other thing I wanted to add, I would like a letter sent to Mr. Tom Severo, congratulating him on his 400th career victory as a soccer coach. Tom is our boys soccer coach.
Yeah.
And I know that the school gave him a plaque already, but I'd like the school committee to honor, just to recognize his achievement and his great success as a soccer coach. Thank you.
Okay, can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, if we can have Karen, if you can write a letter.
I'll take care of that.
Thank you, Karen.
Okay, and was there something else, Ron? Was there somebody else?
I just wanted to, just a congratulations to the
Okay.
golf team. Just a shout out to the golf team.
Yep.
CAC champions. Congratulations, guys. Coach Tom Struthers.
Okay, good. We don't have an executive session tonight, but I will tell you at the next meeting, we probably will. Because our cafeteria and clerical workers have asked to start negotiating. I have asked Mr. Gillis to take over the cafeteria negotiations, and myself and Mr. Asbedian will do the clerical. But at our meeting in December, or if anybody has any ideas, or we'll discuss how you want to go about these negotiations, it'd be great. Because I believe both of these contracts end this June and August, I believe. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, future agenda items. Anybody have anything?
I have nothing, Madam Chairman.
Okay. All righty, so I think I'm ready
We're
for,
good.
Move to adjourn?
that's what I was waiting for. Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous vote.
And happy Thanksgiving all.
Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thank you, everybody.
Safe,
Good night, all. Be safe.
We'll see you in
Shout out
December.
to the National Honor Society kids because they all got inducted tonight and Mrs. Becker
Oh,
did
awesome.
that.
Congratulations. Congratulations to them.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
That's-
A Zoom induction.